Accountability. Parents are held accountable all the time, not only for the safety of their children, but for their engagement with them as well. I ask myself daily whether or not I was actively present for my children. If the answer is no, then I lose the dad game for the day. What does active engagement look like when parenting 5 kids? How does one stay actively engaged with their children? Active engagement is paramount when raising kids, so don't be one of those parents who are there, but not really present. Let's get into this. If a parent is truly actively engaged with their children, then the outcome is the same at the end of the day, whether the kid has a good day or a bad day. You can look your children in the eye and tell whether or not they felt your presence throughout the day. I gauged this by asking them questions about school and whatever activities we had done together during the day. And I'm not talking about general questions like, what was your favorite part of today, honey? I asked them specifics like, you practiced scene 6 and 7 for your upcoming play. What was your favorite part of that scene? My older boys are in a phenomenal children's acting program. It's one of the many activities that we have the kids involved in. When my kids listen and answer my specific questions about school and their activities, then they know that dad was actively engaged in those activities by watching, cheering them on, and asking specific questions. Parents know the answer they're going to get if they ask their kids something like this. How was school today? How was soccer practice? How was lunch with your friends? The kid is just going to reply with any adjective like good, or fine, or leave me alone. Asking specific questions not only gets their little wheels turning, but it shows them that dad was really paying attention to what I was doing, and dad actually cares about what I have going on. It's so important for kids to feel that from their parents. Active engagement with kids goes beyond simply driving them from place to place. Anyone could do that. Kids have to feel your presence. When kids know you're there and you're paying attention, I can promise you that problem behaviors will decrease and their engagement with whatever activity will increase. Plus, if they know that dad is watching, their motivation to do the best job they can also increases. Put yourself in their shoes. Think like a kid for a second. We could all do that. We was all kids once before. Say you're a teenager playing a soccer game and you look over at dad on the sidelines. And dad is either talking to other parents throughout the game or dad is on their phone the entire time. How would you feel? Kids know if their parents are being actively engaged with them. And when they experience this sense of security mixed with pride will facilitate growth in both their body and minds, as well as deepen a parent's connection with their child. Active engagement with kids is crucial at all stages of their development, and parents need to make the choice to be actively engaged with their kids. It's so easy to become distracted nowadays. Modern technology is both a blessing and a curse. Let's talk about home life for a minute. Picture this. You sit the kids down for lunch. Now, I'm going to give you my scenario. At lunchtime during the school week, it's always my 2 youngest sons and my daughter. I make 3 separate meals. I clean up those meals, and I hit those things to do around the house, like laundry, for example. Laundry needs to be done every day in my house, if not 2 loads a day. There are daily things that need to get done for the family to function at a high level. If I have any interruptions, then I'm delayed in getting those chores done. And I'm a big boy, folks. These are big boy things. No one's going to do it for me. So what do? I do what every parent nowadays does when you got to get something done. You break out the tablets. We have those Amazon Fire HD tablets for the kids. Mom always finds a Black Friday deal for those things. She finds deals everywhere. No one can mess with my wife when it comes to shopping. The girl never pays full price. It's incredible. Anyhow, I to the tablet so I can be productive. In today's day and age, you got to use your resources because life is a lot busier than it was back in the day. So do I do that? Yes, I do. I break out the tablets and they have their electronic time while daddy does his duties. Now I finish my chores and the tablets go away. Electronic time has come to an end. I do my due diligence and I give them a warning. We even have these stoplight timers that are just fantastic. I'll put a link to those devices in the description below. Now it's time to be actively engaged with the kiddies before our next activity, all while taking care of a 10-month-old who has completely different needs. Now, one could argue, they could say, yo, Bango, you weren't paying any attention to your kids. You just threw them on the tablets. That's not being actively engaged with your kids. And they would be right. They would be absolutely right, without a doubt. But here's the difference, folks. There are things to do. Things have to get done for the greater good. With a large family like mine, my view is to use my resources that are at my disposal to allow my family to function at the highest level possible. So yes, I used those resources to accomplish my goal of getting the chores done that needed to be done. Using technology and electronics in a passive approach would be to use these resources when you have nothing to do. You just threw the kids on the tablets, so they're occupied and they're out of your hair so you could have you time. For example, I take my kids to swim lessons. They have lessons back to back, which means that one kid is going to be sitting with dad while the other is doing their lesson. I see other parents whip out those tablets so they can have peace of mind while they wait. I don't do that. I don't think it's necessary to throw a kid on an iPad or something like that in that situation. I use that situation to actively engage with my child. I talk to them about their lesson or their upcoming lesson. I talk to them, folks. That is a perfect opportunity to have those teachable moments with your kids. Little moments like that. And it's the little things that they remember. Now, I'm not hating on the people that use technology and other resources in a situation like that. People do what they got to do. I don't know their story, so I'm not going to judge them. However, when I observe that situation, I make the choice to actively engage with my child in those moments. And both they and I enjoy those teachable moments very much. Now to come full circle on our topic for episode 2, which is accountability. Parents need to hold themselves accountable when caring for their children. Take a look at your everyday actions and look for those opportunities to be actively engaged with your kids. Ask them specific questions about their day. Take the time to know the fine details of the activities they do after school. By all means, do what you have to do to get things done to allow your family to function at a high level. Let the kids have iPad time, but do so in a productive way. Not an excuse for you, the parent, to spend time scrolling through social media and slow your own roll. Unless you want to, take a break to watch Dad Mod Gaming on YouTube, that's okay. But in all seriousness, use the resources at your disposal to get things done, and then shift your attention back to your kids. Ask those specific questions, and those teachable moments will come. And you would have won the dad game for the day. Be accountable for yourself, and you have won the video game. The dad game earns the video game, folks. New episodes of Dad Games Podcast will drop every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. DMG Live is every Friday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Everything on Friday. Of course, if you like what you're seeing, I hope you do. Don't forget to like this podcast and subscribe to Dad Mod Gaming on YouTube if you're new. Give a follow on Twitch, and be sure to follow Dad Mod Gaming on all social platforms, as there is different content on each of these platforms. I hope you enjoyed the podcast today, and I hope you enjoyed the Halo Infinite Firefight gameplay showcase. And thanks so much for watching. Be good to each other, and happy gaming.